Hello! Happy Wednesday. Yeah, it's a bit of a blink and you miss it cameo, but he's in there twice, I guess. Hello everyone. Willow, Mac, hope you are both doing well. Posey. Let's just not worry about Posey. Hi everybody. All right. So, Bumblebee is great. Bernie, we got him working. He's doing so good. He's got his counterattack thing. The status effect works properly. It's great. Now, we need to move on to some new enemies. That's 2 for Chapter 3, which is not many. There will be a lot for bosses, but you want to have a good variety of not boss enemies. And this guy right here is going to be great. This is going to be Hoggle. Hoggle, what does Hoggle do? Is he going to be basically the same as a Piggle, but what? Piggle, but I mean, obviously more HP, harder hitting. Does he do anything special? Does he have a separate attack he can use? Hoggle. Here's Hoggle right here. I've got him right now with the same setup. Okay, so I'm thinking in TTYD, there is a souped up Goomba that you hit in Chapter 4. Their main mechanic is that they can supercharge themselves. They can spend a turn buffing themselves by 5. So their attack jumps from like 2 to 7 or something like that, or maybe 3 to 8. Which is fine. That might be an approach. That works really well with Leon, who can add the decoy effect. Decoy is good. For those kind of like one-time buff sort of things. Is there something else we can do? Some other way we can approach this? All right, so Paper Mario has to kind of stick to the source material a little bit. You know, it's like, oh, if you do an enemy that is a bullet bill, then it is going to, fire at you. If you do an enemy that's a Koopa Troopa, then it's gonna go into its shell or something if you jump on it. Although Hoggle does come from Dabble Worlds, we don't have to stick to that source material, but it does give us somewhere we can draw inspiration from. Hoggle was a charging enemy, would kind of rush back and forth to try and get to you. So it would not be out of the question to give Hoggle a different sort of attack maybe in addition to the regular one. So he can do his regular head bonk, or he can do a run in place, similar to the snail rollout. Enemy snail roll. Okay, enemy snail roll. Yeah, change animation, tire screech, move, hurt, walk back. Very, very straightforward. We can do that without the tire screech. Or we could do it with the tire screech. Sound effects are something we can consider later. Made this guy pretty beefy. All right, so let's see what this is like. Hey, Mariano. All right, let's see how well this guy looks. See, he looks fine, looks like a regular pig, but it's fine. But it's not super interesting. I mean, if we give him a little, you know, like charge up his legs animation, then that'll help. Let's see here. Where's my FFZ control panel? Chat tooltips. I must agree. Let's see here. Ah, there we go. 5 games made in Godot to inspire you. I guess I'm gonna have to actually click on it to see what is at timestamp 74 seconds. This better not be a Paper Mario. I mean, it might be a Paper Mario, I assume, since it's gotta be relevant. Moonlit Vengeance. Oh, Rosaluna, Moonlit Vengeance. Is it? That's a... I don't know that it is. That looks very different. I guess it's the gameplay. I don't know. That sprite, that rabbit sprite portrait is very Cave Story. Gotcha, the battle system. It's a very Cave Story coded sprite. How is this guy going to... Yeah, I think we do want to make an alternate move. It's gonna be basically the same type of move, but it will be different, so it's special and unique. Hoggle charge. First grounded enemy. We're gonna change it to walk for one thing. I don't think we're gonna play Screech. Oh my goodness, the 3! The 3 streak! Where's this walk? Oh, walk is a... right. You can't override walk, typically. Unless it's your reset 2. Here we go. This right here. This is how we this is how we do it. Okay, so that, I think, will make him walk in place. Normally, my system is trying to be very helpful. Almost a 12. Wow. Well, no, I'm still not getting a... Does he not have a walk animation? He better. He better. Okay, he does. Good. Whew. He does have a walk animation. How does this move work then? Where we do this reset animation business. So this is the Siege Engine charge up, where the Piggle walks over and walks in place on the gear. Set flag, reset animation to walk. That right there is supposed to make him walk in place effectively. Oh! I didn't change the move. He's still using... We're still getting the tire screech. So he's not using this... I'm editing code in one place and it's not even using that code. There we go. Whoops. Okay, so yes, that, but... Animation speed. Oop, I'm getting beeped. It's time to head down. I'll be back. You never see snails coming. They're too sneaky. They're too sneaky. Whoops. Snake is sticking in my arm. I'm afraid of it. No, it's not venomous and well behaved. I went to a place. I did some. I spent a few months abroad in Southeast Asia. And there was a place there called the Snake Temple that I went to visit. Oh! Oh! We got it. It's done forever. All right, Hudson is now banned and can no longer. We're gonna spend all day trying to get this guy to do this. Nerds, we got it! We got it! Get cheesed, nerd! Ooh, okay. Good. There's nothing in the rulebook that says we have to remove the orb from his necklace, just that it has to touch the pedestal. It has to be very fast. So I tested that to see what that looks like. This is an example of, with the big Dobbs logo. So it would go like, boom, whoa, boom, wah. The sound effect is actually not happening from the computer. Yeah, believe it or not, that's actually me making that noise with my throat. Boom.
It was so computer-like.
It was very computer-like. Yeah, I've got 6 of mine back.
Yep.
Doesn't matter, they're not super useful. All right, just a heads up, Turtle, we're not safe. We need to get to the to land quickly.
Why?
Dragon's gonna fly in at us and oh!
Bro.
Did somebody?
Well.
Mhm.
I need to.
I'm realizing what I should probably do is make myself a map.
This is going great.
This is a raid. They're killing themselves.
Oh no.
Okay, wait. I'm just gonna focus on what I can do.
Wow.
I'm
Like the warden all over again.
Don't worry. I'm doing it.
Oh my god!
I don't know how that creeper followed me. Because there should have been no floor for it.
No, sorry.
Oops.
I may have explained the trapdoors poorly. They always see trapdoors as solid. And will therefore try.
They'll walk right in and fall.
You want to try that again? I see it now. I see it. Little Sparky. Oh, that's fun. Oh, that's fun. Oh, that's great. Oh, that's a really good section. Nice. That was good. Oh, that ending is fantastic. Oh, man. Okay. Oh, boy. Uh-oh. This might be bad. Wait. Oh, it works. Ark, what's going on? Where's their key door? Oh my god. Pixel, you are a wonderful person, and I value our friendship. It's not the worst position.
Dubs, look out!
No!
Oh god!
No! Sorry.
Hold on.
Hang on. I got it. Oh, wait, hang on.
Hold on.
There we go.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Can you repair
sorry.
one?
What?
You cannot repair while you're in the boat. Oh, I guess you could get out, probably.
Yeah.
Hold on. I got a hole right here.
Just go out and push.
No, God! No! You're gonna kill me! I'm almost dead! I got so close to dying! My boat is gone! He took my boat! He took my boat!
And he's out of there.
Let's do it. Let's impersonate Germ Dove here. I'm back. Hello. Ah. I don't know if I have any good honk sounds. The closest I've got to a honk. Yeah, that's pretty close. Hi, Fanny Slam. There we go. Perfect. Oh, whose mysterious voice is that? We'll never know. It was successful. Sleep is happening. Well, sleep will be happening. Yeah, sleep will happen. Let's try it like this. The song. That seems fine. It's very... It feels a little uninteresting, but I think it'll work. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Okay. The next one. Yeah, so there we go. Boom. That's Hoggle. Done. Hoggle's gonna be one of the introductory enemies. Just vanilla Hoggle. Just a beefed up Piggle. What are you doing back here, Posey? Get out of it. Get out of it. Get your wiggly wiggly neck here. What is that? That's your ear? Get out from back there. Come on. Come on. I'm gonna scoot back, Posey. And if you get squished, it's your own fault. What are you doing in my cords? Get out from my cords! I need those. It's not spaghetti. Yes, okay. Some people have not heard what happened with Posey yesterday. All right, so I have a Posey story to tell. I have a tale to tell about Posey the dog. She knows that she did something she was not supposed to do. Okay. I'm gonna try to avoid unnecessary details here. The short version is that all three of us, me, my wife, my daughter, were outside in the front yard. My daughter had run in and come back out. She'd just gone in to get something and come back out. And she mentioned that Posey was so excited to try and follow her that Posey had jumped up on the door after her. Haha, silly Posey scratching at the door. Posey, you can't open the door, you're a dog. I go to grab something from inside shortly thereafter and find that the door is locked. My first thought is, little Toadette accidentally got the lock on the way out. Hey, Mr. Cat. We were thinking, little Toadette kind of accidentally flipped the doorknob lock and then pulled it shut, which would lock it. But no, upon further investigation, it was the deadlock, not the regular door handle lock. Posey legitimately locked us out of our house. The culprit, as seen here on the inside of the back door, while I stand outside waiting for the spare key. She's such a good guard dog that she even keeps us out of our house. So anyway, that happened yesterday. That Posey, she's a rascal. But up. She knows what she did. Anyway. So that was our adventure. That was our big, fun adventure. What a time we had. What a time we all had. But yeah. She's gotten into a lot of mischief lately. Actually, I think it was Tuesday's mischief required me lifting her up into the bathtub to give her a bath immediately due to some mischief that happened. It's pretty gross. I need to open a file. Entities, actors, pig? No. Base act? No. Shared. Haha. Here we go. We need a new helmet for the pig. Pig handled. Pig managed. All right. I got my ducks in a row and my pigs in a column. I wish there was somewhere in here that indicated how much you were moving it by. Microsoft Paint does that. All right, that lines up. All right, we need a helmet befitting we need a nice miner's helmet. So we're gonna actually, you know what? Let's use this helmet as a base. But let's shift it to something a little bit more. Yeah, let's go with a blue. Should it be more of like a rough brownish color? Actually, that looks pretty nice. That looks pretty nice. And now the obvious addition. Is the headlamp. All right, so what is this gonna look like? Something like that. And then let's get us an, oh, right, new layer. Ali! Pratt chat, Pratt chat. Chris Pratt, Chris. Hello, Ali. Thank you for the raid. Happy belated birthday. Also, I think I've got your social security number somewhere around here. We did so much panicking. Excellent. Yeah. That's important. Everyone needs that. Let's go with the dry bristles. That'll work. Oh yeah, I've got it jotted down. I'm using it as a bookmark for my library books, so it's probably fine. All right, there we go. Helmet managed. Now. This guy, he's gonna get a little bit of an adjustment for his helmet. Boom. He's ready. He's a mining hog now. Completely different. How was your stream? Aside from the panic. Need to figure out what to do about a balloon version too, if we're gonna do something like that. I don't know if we're gonna do a balloon version, but it would be nice. Like, what about he's being carried by a vulture? You know, that seems normal. It seems like a normal thing to happen. Why not? Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. All right. So what's this guy's deal? So we want to do a plus balloon version and a plus mining helmet version. Of the Hoggle. And that's 3 enemies right there with minimal effort on the animations. That's probably not true. It's probably going to get really bad. Okay, so this one's fine. Hoggle, Hard Hat Hoggle. All right. So typical Hard Hat Piggle was all about, he was just a regular Piggle, but if you try to hit him from above, it deals 1 less damage per instance, which was not great. It just meant that it wasn't much use. So what if we mix this guy up a bit? What if he's a backline buff character? Like, in Chapter 1, Hard Hat Piggle is not really much of a threat. It just forces you to make sure that you are using both types of moves. Ranged and melee. But, like, wouldn't it be interesting if there was, like, a real threat of a backline enemy that you can't hit immediately? See, that would require him to be kind of like a glass cannon. Let's see, at this stage in the game, if this guy has 8 health, you could knock him out in 2... You could hit him for 4 with a heavy gear, and then you're kind of out of luck. You're gonna have to. He's gonna survive at least 1 turn. So he's already a bit of a problem. I don't think making him a healer makes any sense. Oh my goodness. Wait for it.
Official request of a green briny pig. Pickle Piggle.
Pickle Piggle. That's a great idea, Turtle. That's a great idea. Thank you, Turtle. For 62 months, that's almost a year. Turtle, I saw that you got the 61-month renewal in very recently off stream. Thank you for that one as well. I didn't have a chance to thank you at the moment. So that's basically 2 months in one. So that's probably like even closer to a year. Wow, Turtle, has it really been 62 months? Needed the emotes. I get it. I get it. Oh, and now Snail's here. Thanks, Snail. Cool. Now, I've got a status effect that makes enemies explode on death, damaging their teammates. So it's a very beneficial status effect to throw on an enemy because it helps you clear out crowds more quickly, which is nice. Let's see here. What makes sense? So if he's mining, let's say he's a mining pig, you know? So he can dig around in the ground. I mean, it could be just like he digs down, he does a little animation around a teammate, and then that teammate gets buffed or healed or whatever. Oh, there you go. Good buddy Snail. Turning over a new leaf at the plant. Why is it a problem that he's back there? He finds mushrooms. He roots around in the ground for mushrooms, cave mushrooms, and then he throws those at his teammates to heal them. He does the truffle ruffle. He ruffles for truffles. See, that's typically the threat of a backliner. This guy he's unique in that you can't hit him from above effectively. You can hit him from above, but it doesn't do much. So he's very tanky when he's in the back. And the normal solution is, well, that's easy. Just save him until you clear out all the frontliners. Makes sense, no big deal. But, okay, great. Why does it matter that you're not hitting him fast enough? In typical lane-based RPG combat, it's because the one in the back is healing the one in the front who has all the HP and is damaging you. And so you want to take out the one in the back, and now you put a helmet on it. It's like, oh, well, now that's a big deal. So backline healer makes sense for one that can handle backline. Why does it matter? Why does it matter? Countdown. He's sitting on an explosive barrel, and he's gonna blow it up if you don't take him out in 3 turns. Okay, now all right, that's something. That's something. Oh, geez, but can you ever... See, that would be fine if it weren't for the helmet. It's like, yeah, all that makes sense. With this guy, the helmet is just particularly bad. And there's no way around it. If he's in the back line, he's protected from the front and from above, and you just don't have any way to deal with it until you get Melissa, who will be able to dig under enemies and hit grounded enemies no matter where they are. So that's okay. So this guy becomes kind of like a pain in the front half of chapter 3, but very manageable in the back half of chapter 3 because you have a new partner who's able to manage this kind of stuff. Okay, I feel better about it. Maybe we need a charge up. TTYD had charging as a maneuver, though it wasn't used that much in my experience. Bug Fables had it and put a bit more emphasis on it. The idea with charge is that it is a status effect that can stack with itself and doesn't expire through duration. So putting charge on a character increases the strength of the next single move they use. Once they use a move, the status effect is gone. It clears out. So you can keep stacking it onto a character until their next move is just like this massive blast. And the idea is you would typically couple that with a move that does damage multiple times. So for instance, let's say you have a move that hits 3 times it hits 3 points the first time, and then it diminishes down 3, 2, 1. So standard, it does 6 damage, pretty good. But every time you charge that by 1, you're charging all 3 of those hits since they're all part of one move, and so you get these like big returns on spending. You spend a turn to charge up by 3 points. Well, that's going to pay you back 9-point dividend. So maybe the deal with this guy is that he's charging up for a big attack for 3 turns. Okay. That's all right. Hang on. All right, here's an idea. New status effect, meditation. While in meditation, you gain charge, but your move is automatically skipped. And then all we have to do is make sure that this guy starts battles with that status effect. And the result is that like when you understand, like, okay, got it, he's going to be building up power. At the end of X number of turns, he is ready to unleash, like, 7 damage or something. Get charged for received hit. That could make for an interesting module. Like something that automatically grants you charge. I do like that. Yeah, let's do a meditation status effect. This is silly. Okay, well that needs a few things then. We need a charge status effect. Let's see here. Menus. Combat. No, wait, hang on. It's in. Oh, where? You no. Where's our status effect icons? Menu, battle, status effects. That makes sense because they're always in battles only. Okay, so we're gonna need 2 new status effect icons here. I love new status effect day. All right. So we need a meditation status effect. Let's see, we got some reddish, we got a lot of purplish, some greenish, not as much bluish, and 1 orangish, I guess. So let's go with blue for our meditation status effect. It's going to be an up arrow. Looks a bit too much like a house. Up arrow. No. Not an up arrow. Maybe I probably should get the drawing pad back out. What is it gonna be? What is it gonna be? Stop beeping at me. What did I just say? Oh yeah, it's nice. They're really nice to use. Lizards! Posies! Okay, charge needs to be a weird one, and I think that one's actually going to be multicolor for the first time. For the first time ever. For the first time in forever. Hi, Slav. Okay. Charge. Legendary streamer here again. With the insistent out of signal range warnings. Okay, what is 12-hour stream, 12-hour stream. Lightning bolt, a plus. What's the signal for charged up? And why rainbow? Rainbow seems like I want to do something wacky with the status effect icons at some point. Maybe it's not time yet. Haha. I've already got lightning bolt for energy regen. What do you mean out of signal coverage? The antenna's up.
Same place it's in.
Alright, let's see what the charge status effect looked like in TTYD and Bug Fables. So, charge up skill to Leaf. Yep. So then we go look over at charge up skill. Charge up skill. Boost an ally's attack. 1 charge. It's just a green. Okay, in Bug Fables, it's just a green up arrow. Great. Let's see here. Attacks are increased in power by 2. TTYD status effects. Show me charged. It's the status effect, and it is represented. Oh, right. Okay. In Thousand Year Door, it's a special weird thing. Because it does not have a status effect indicator icon. Instead, the character just glows rainbow. Huh. So they didn't even have an icon for it. Blue. Okay. So up arrow. Can we go with more of like a bit more angled? I don't know if that's any good. Hi, Fruit Superman. Yeah, a little bit of whimsy. Whimsy, as we all know, is like one of the driving principles of the project. There has to be the right amount of whimsy. And oh man, I've got a chapter 3 set piece that will knock your socks off with how whimsical it is. Okay, so maybe like this. Doesn't need to be perfect. Okay. Save that. Let's get this new status effect in place. We're actually going to need 2 new status effects here. All right. 2 new status effects. Gosh, there's so many new status effects getting introduced all the time. Like, this game is getting a little bit covered in status effects. This is a kind of a Paper Mario-like. Like this. It looks like this. It's great. Everybody loves it. Look at that beautiful, beautiful game. Everybody loves it. All right, new status effects. First off, we need the status effect charged. Let's see here. Full description is all damage dealt during the next attack will be increased by potency. The effect then ends. The effect ends after the attack. All right, index. Let's see, burning was 23. 26 is the icon index. Is positive? Yes, this is a good one. The purpose of the is positive flag is items that cure status effects do not want to cure positive status effects. Although we should consider some kind of very neutral cleanser item or something that you can find at some point. There's some move. Revive. Everlasting does not deduct turns. That's the one we want. Already got it ready. Stacking. Additional instances add to potency. Yes. Is that not... Is stacking not done? It is done. Yeah, potency stacks. Okay, cool. So that's done. We already have status effect logic for that. What's your approach on coming up with status effects? So far, it has been that if I need an enemy to do something more interesting, and I don't want the logic to live on the enemy, I throw it into a status effect. And it could be that there's only one enemy in the game that ever uses that status effect, and that's okay. It's a little weird, but it's okay. In some ways, it's nice as a way to give the player more tools in their kit that they can use against enemies. But once I've got a new status effect, why not turn it around and say, okay, now I'm going to build an enemy that uses that status effect. So the concern is, if there's too many, how will you ever keep track of them all? And that is why the first town, the hub town, has a building called the Status Effect Research Foundation. And I haven't decided everything that's going to go on in there, but there will be a whole side quest involving finding status effects throughout the game. So it's a little bit of a fourth wall, not full-on break, but acknowledgement of this is a video game that has status effects. Okay, I think this is all we need for charged. It is, in fact, called the SERF. I haven't decided who's going to run it. The hub is going to be populated with all manner of critters. But every time I make a new town, I tend to draw new NPCs, and so I can add variants of those new NPCs to the hub town until we have all kinds of different little animals running around. It's going to be great. It's going to be a lot of work to go back and update the hub after we've made all the other chapters, but it'll be good. Okay, so now we need a new status effect. Okay, let's get charged done, right? Let's get charged done. So that's going to be in battle actions, because that's where we have our damage calculator. Get final damage amount. Yep. So we want to look at the status effect. Status effect directory. Well, no, we can go further up. Ah, wait, no, I can't just piggyback off of attack up. Yeah, exactly. Or Rogueport in Thousand Year Door. But whereas Rogueport is really just a bunch of scoundrels and thieves, Drainpipe is going to be a bit more enterprising and hardy people, but not necessarily the thieving sorts. Let's see here. Yeah, it's like, okay, when does the calculation happen to add? So first you get your final damage amount. Based on the damage instance, which has like the base damage and the power. Oh, this is where power comes in. Okay, here's where damage reduction comes in. But yeah, none of this has anything to do with status effects here. It does add in diminishing. Wherein lies wet floor? I know that's a weird one that you might completely miss. Damage multipliers. Okay, but that's an arena effect. Should charge take place? Charge should take place before the multipliers. And before damage reduction. So where can I get... get property value? No. It'd be the unit type has a function, I believe. Or the battle unit has a function that returns what the current potency. Get effect potency. There we go. So we say unit get effect potency of status effect directory dot charged. Yeah, dot charged. So that'll tell us how much potency we have, and just add that. Just add that to our final damage amount. And then regardless of whether you deal damage, if you try to deal damage, so for instance, you might hit for 0. Like if an enemy has extremely high defense, you might hit for 0. But either way, if you call this function, then you did use up your charge. So normally we have an after... let's see here. We have a check damage effects. Prevent block. On deal damage. Great. This is on get final damage. On take damage. So we're going to need some kind of like on after damage system. Oh, don't we have some kind of... turn damage list. Which units have been damaged by diminishing hits? How many times? So turn damage list gets appended. Turn damage list gets appended every time we call get final damage amount. So if we are ever calculating damage, even if it's flat damage, flat damage, piercing damage, whatever else, then we are going to append to turn damage list, which is going to jump back to blank during the battle events. Now that's before a turn. I need this to be after a unit turn is done. Can we do that? Can we easily look into that? How do we hook into that? Enemy side turns, keeps going, doesn't it? After. That's after side start. What is this one? On after damage aggregate. What is that used for? Sleep effects. Okay, yeah. Now that's after I've taken damage, right? And that's the damage instances. Took waking damage. Damage instances. I would love to see what the damage instances look like. Grouped damage by unit. Just print me this whole list here. Print me this whole list in a battle. Here's what I'm interested in. What does this look like? If I do 2 damage instances. Okay, I just got myself a list that gives me the unit that was attacked, the source, and the damage instance, the final damage amount, the actual health deducted, and whether or not the entity guarded. And then I have a second one of those because it was 2 instances of damage. Okay, so because I have the source, of that, what I should be able to do is check if a charged unit attacked. So we're gonna say group damage by source. And then for unit in that on after deal damage. So that's going to be our new function here. On after deal damage. And that's going to look very similar to this one right here. Decrement potency is close to what we want. Permanently be able to make these kind of changes. I mean, it gets worse all the time. It gets worse all the time. Let's see here. I can just set it to 0. I can just set the effect to 0. Right? So decrement potency normally takes an effect. An effect does... Oh, effect... wait. E.effect is the same type as effect. Oh. So that's a status effect instance there. So how can I grab the potency here? In one of these. Effect.potency. There we go. So there's our potency. It's just effect.potency. I lose the IntelliSense, like the typing here. So I just say decrement by the current potency, and that will clear it out completely. That should do it right there. So if you are charged and you use this, then you're done. Great. Okay, next thing we can do. We're not ready for the meditating. Hi, Liari. We're not ready for the meditation status effect or whatever it's going to be. The effect that is going to make it so that the enemy becomes a ticking time bomb. See, I think it's useful because it's going to give you a countdown to when the enemy is like, all right, I'm ready to attack and I am buff. So meditation potency should mention how much charge you get per turn, and duration will be how many turns. So from that, you can calculate how much extra damage on top of whatever damage the creature does base. So you should be able to see turn 1, like, uh-oh, this thing is going to be a problem. Okay, so that's good. Charged is done. Next step, let's have something on battle units on the enemy directory where we can declare that an enemy starts with a certain effect. So we've done resistances before. Why did we do it by name, I wonder? That's interesting. Okay, so we've done resistances before. Hi, Bach. So now we're gonna add, instead of resistances, this next one will be initial effects. And we're gonna we want duration and potency. That's a tricky one, isn't it? So we would say effect. Oops. Effect is this. Also, this needs to be an array. This needs to be an array. Okay, there we go. Effect is whatever. Potency is whatever. duration is whatever. Okay, so that's the idea. That's how we'll set up initial effects. Next, that needs to go in the battle manager. Add an initialize. When we initialize a unit. Add status effect container. Can I go ahead and add status effects here then? Apply status effect. Here we go. So we're going to put that at the end of add and initialize. Something like this. So we need the unit type. Initial effects equals unit type dot get initial effects. And if that is null, then it's an empty array. For initial effect in initial effects, simply apply whatever effect it is. In order, this takes the unit, potency, duration, effect type. Potency, duration, effect. That might be enough. So let's move hard hat hoggle in here as my initial enemy to take on, and let's see what happens. Fingers crossed. Okay. That's weird. But this did work. He started with the status effect. Hey, hard hat hoggle. Fill me in. What do you look like when you're asleep? Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. That's kind of what I thought. As a matter of fact. Why do you look like that? Why do you look like that? Let's find out. Who's doing that? Who's doing that? That's your tail! No. That can't be right. No. Show me again. Show me again. Show me your tail. Okay, so your sleep animation is the one doing that, right? Yeah, right there. Sleep animation should not be messing with that. No. That's your tail, buddy. There we go. Okay. That was weird. Uh-oh. Well, now he's not sleeping. What did I do this time? Oh, I set that to repeating forever. Okay. Please, just go to sleep forever. All right, he's looking good, sleeping. Tier 3 sleep for 6 rounds. Incredible. All right. Good. Good. So, that's great. we can start an entity with initial effects, which also means I can check out this charged effect very easily. By just putting it on Dabble. All right, Dabble has charge 3. Okay, so he's going to be dealing normally 1 and 1. The charge is going to bump it up to 4 and 4, and his defense is going to bring it down to 3 and 3. No. The charge effect didn't seem to go. Unless that was like a problem with the maybe the hard hat was harder than I thought or something. How much is this gonna do? 1 and 1. Charge didn't apply. Okay, okay. Let's figure that out. Final damage amount. Charged amount. Get effect potency of charged. Okay. Why? Okay. Yeah, that is 3. It detects 0 and 0. Is it getting cleared out too early, maybe? That's my first guess. Which would be right here. All right. Like it's clearing the status effect before it calculates. No, that's the right order. Why are we getting 0 then? So this part is fine. Get effect potency. How does that work? Let's have it print status effects of the unit, as well as the filtered list. Just a regular attack is fine. I got... Huh. There's the 0. This printed out 1 and blank. Okay. Oh, we have a mystery. Here's our first mystery of the night, then. Something is not working the way we expect at all. And I don't know what the deal is. Alright, clear this. So we can see this log message. And... no status effects. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I should have realized. Yeah, we're gonna have some. Is it calling it on a? Who is it calling that on? That's what it is, isn't it? Who are we requesting? I'm requesting the charge of the Hoggle. I'm requesting the charge of the Hoggle. That's why, because the Hoggle doesn't have any charge to him. All right, now let's see that sweet, sweet 8 damage. There it is. Boom. And then the charged effect disappears after that. Beautiful. Okay, charged works. That is confirmed. And we can now start an entity with an effect. That's a new thing that we can do with our enemies. So they can have status effects when a battle starts. Now, these are not randomized. This is always present on a specific enemy type. It would not be out of the question to add that in for like a special battle, like, well, this special scripted battle against this enemy, in this case, they start with the status effect. That's doable. It would require a little bit of coding up, but we can do it if we need to. All right. So now it's time for the next status effect. As if we had enough status effect. We don't have enough. I'm going to go with meditating. Or meditation. Or what's another? Like, it's charging up. It's gaining power. It's it's gaining power and cannot take action. That's the two things we need to capture in how we talk about this status effect. Enlightened. That implies that it's already achieved its state. We want this to be like it's charging up its Kamehameha. Charging, and as a result, unable to take action until it's fully charged. I mean, it could be charging, but that feels like very confusing with charged. Drawing power. Exhausted. No, that's the complete opposite. Meditation. Scheming. I like how out of the left field that one is. Let's see here. Let's see, charging. Let's look up thesauruses. Synonym. That's the wrong kind of charging. Charging has a lot of definitions. Entrusting, instructing, accusing, filling. Okay, here we go. No, that doesn't quite fit at all. Preparing. Readying. No, I think meditation is winding up. Oh, geez, I really like that for the... Oh, dang, that's really good for like a wind-up toy. That would make... Oh, now I almost feel like just moving this completely aside. And like saving that status effect to be thematically more appropriate for like a wind-up toy kind of enemy. Because that just feels so much better for that. Well, shoot, that's really good. Hi, Day. Welcome in. Do we push that back for another chapter? It's so good. Bach, that's really good. I feel like I need to rethink this. Yeah, I think the idea maybe is that this guy gets charge up as a move. Which chapter has dinos? Realistically, chapter 2 would have been the most likely. Oh, here come some lizards! Here they come! Yeah! I could just say that this guy has a move, a charge up move, and he uses it as long as there is an enemy in front of him. So he does keep doing the same effect, but it's more of a surprise. Okay, but that means that this is not happening yet. Skip turn and add plus potency to charge status. Plotting would also work for a 2-turn move. It would. I think what we're going to do is we're going to give the Hoggle the dig version. We're going to give him a special move where he will charge up to a limit. Oh, see, this is interesting because already... Oh, this guy becomes very dangerous. So normally, you are sort of helped by the fact that you can, with good timing, block some damage with a good timed hit. And that reduces all incoming damage by 1, which means it is in the player's best interest to take lots of attacks of low damage versus one big attack for which they cannot gain that blocking. So when an enemy has, say, normally a 2 or 3 damage attack, if it's a 2 damage attack and you can block 1, then they break even by attacking each turn versus spending a turn charging up. If it's 3 damage, they actually lose out. So Hoggle needs to charge by 2 every turn to make this. We're cheating a little bit. We're making it look like the player is in grave danger, but effectively, they'd be soaking up the exact same amount of damage either way. If I say that the enemy deals 3 damage on an attack, but you can, they instead will buff their next attack by 2 indefinitely, it's actually working out in your favor. Hoggle like lab? No, as in the Dabble Worlds enemy from Dabble Worlds. Classic video game, Dabble Worlds. Alright, so we're gonna have a charge up attack. Target myself. Why does this start with a vibrate controller? That shouldn't happen. There we go. Okay. Walk in place. Wiggle your legs. For 1 second. Then I want to see a tiny hop. Give me a tiny hop, buddy. Don't do any of this. 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 Wait. Do this one, though. Definitely do this one. And then we need to apply status effect. Not with a coin flip. Guaranteed. Charged. Status effect of 2. Duration does not matter. So Hard Hat Hoggle is not going to have any initial effects, but he is going to have charge up as well as regular charge, but we're not going to give him that yet. Let's see what this looks like so far. Get rid of this guy. There we go. And normally there'd be a sound effect. Now. Yes. Uh-oh. I just realized a problem. Yeah. Uh-oh. Something really good happened. Do tell. Do tell. Just realized we never set up a system to deal with potencies going above 5. I heard about the high 5. Where did I hear about that? I heard about that on Dupu's chat, probably, or Germdove's chat. One of the chats. Ooh, status effect card. Icon, potency. Normally we do region rect. It was Dupu's. There you go. So this really only works if potency is less than 5, right? So okay, so this is probably fine, but if potency is let's see, icon potency dot visible, it's only visible if potency is less than or equal to 5. If it's greater than or equal to 5, well, then we have to have a new thing here for potency. We have to have a digit, similar to what we do with duration. So we're gonna put that here. Potency label. Slightly less broken. Progress is progress. If it's greater than 5, we switch to a label and do this. Okay, that should work. All right, let's let him charge up. Now we're gonna run to a new issue. Yeah, once it gets past, like, it's gonna just keep going, isn't it? 8, 10. It's bleeding off the edge a little bit now. Okay. All right, we're gonna be cheeky here. If it goes beyond 99, there you go. That should work, right? If you're pushing the system that far, you don't need to know what the actual number is. Okay, make it instead. Give it space. Ugh. Let's try some alternates here. No, that doesn't look good either. There we go. There it is. Wait, what if? No. Just put a 6. It just loops back to 6. All right, there we go. Now, this effect here, 6. We're gonna have a requirement on this move. Moves can have requirements, such as turn number. This one's going to be a little bit more involved. And this charge up is specifically for Hoggle. Because if other enemies are going to have a charge up, they don't need the same restriction. All right. Source. Source side. Uh-oh. Source. No, okay, that's me. I'm source. How do I get my position in the side? My index is source.side.find source. So I'm saying take source side and then do some Pythonic array slicing. What's the syntax for this? Isn't there a way to like get the first X elements of an array? Like you can do -1. Python array slicing. How does this work? Start, stop, step. Does GDScript support Python array slicing? Oh, maybe you actually have to call array slice. Hang on. Begin, end. Okay. So I take my array, source.side, and then I call .slice. I call, give me everything from 0 to my index. If I am index number 2, then that will give me index 0 and 1. Yeah. So if my index equals 1, then immediately return false. You cannot use this move. Otherwise, all I care about is that within the enemies, this is enemies in front of me. Filter that to enemies that are on the ground. Count them. There must be more than 0. That's it. So Hoggle will only charge if there are enemies in front of him that are grounded. And when he does that, he will gain 2 power on his next attack. Which, since his base attack is 3, this works out in the player's favor. It actually makes things easier on the player. But we're not going to tell the player that, of course. All right, so that's Hoggle Charge Up and Hoggle Charge. So he'll have both moves. So this marks a change from how the regular hard hat Hoggle operated. So let's put a pig in front and a balloon pig. All right, let's watch what happens here. I'm expecting... Oh, wait, no, hang on. Requirement is not enough. It's not just that he can only use that move in that case, but also it's a priority move, which means he's only allowed to use it if this is true, and priority means if he can use it, he must prioritize it. That's going to prevent him from attacking if he is allowed to charge. So right now, he's behind this pig, so he should be able to charge and not attack. Yep, he charged up, and that's it. Charged up again. Good. That's what we want to see. Now when I take this guy out, what I'm expecting is for the Hoggle to actually attack. Yes, good. And he attacked for 6 damage. Is that 6 damage? 6 damage. What's Hoggle's base damage? Oh, his is only 2. Okay. That's fine. Okay, pop this. Now you're a regular pig. This is gonna be a problem for poor old Dabble. Now he should charge again. He didn't. Whoa, 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 whoa. All right. We need to rewind there. All right. That was a problem. That was a problem. He was not flying. There was an enemy that was in front of him, but was it really in front of him? I think the sorting on the enemies was wrong. I think that's what happened. I think that's what happened. We're going to say print source.side and also my index, just for clarity there. All right, let's pop this balloon. Now, I think what happened is right in that moment, Piggle Balloon was taken out of the list of enemies and placed at the end of the list as a new enemy of Piggle. I think that's what happened. And so, at least until next turn, yeah, he's treating that. Well, that doesn't really help me. Oh, wait, yes it does. He was counted as enemy 1. Oh, he thinks himself index 1. So this is oh. How did that happen? That should be 0. Ha ha ha. Okay. False alarm. Everything is fine. He should be charging again. Oh, actually, the code might need to be... Nope, we're good. Okay. We're fine. We're fine. Owl raid? You were witnessing an invasion! Al, thank you. Welcome in, Al and friends. I'm being invaded. Oh my gosh. You're never gonna believe this, but I got sidetracked and had a really long discussion about status effects. That pig is stronger. So we actually have 2 strong pigs now. Oops, that's not supposed to be there. So, unlike Chapter 1 pigs, these actually have different behaviors. Slightly. Chapter 1 pig was basically just oh, this one has a helmet, so you really need to use both of your different attacks. You really need to learn how both of those timings work. Please use both of them. But this guy is going to be a little bit of a thorn in your side. Because you see, Al, as long as there is at least one enemy on the ground blocking this guy, he will not attack, but instead will merely charge up with a new status effect called Charged. And it just stacks. It just stacks and stacks and stacks. And it doesn't expire. The status effect just keeps going up. I don't remember what this does. What status effect is this? Burning. Right. I don't actually want that. Anyway. So that just increases the damage of his whatever his next move is. And if his move does damage multiple times, like Spring Fling, both of those instances would work. Yeah, that's the idea. Now I'm pulling I'm pulling some smoke and mirrors on the player because the enemy would be hitting you for 2 if they attacked you, and instead they're charging up for 2. So, Actually, the regular Hoggle does 3 base damage. So if I kept that, then it'd actually work out in your favor for him to just keep charging up in lieu of attacking. But there you go. New status effect. And we have a new idea for a status effect that was going to go on this guy, but then while trying to come up with a name for it, Bot came up with a good idea for a name that was good and on theme and made me realize we need to save the status effect for like maybe chapter 7. Died. I also made a little bit of a change to status effects cards. Formerly, status effect potencies could only draw up to 5. Anything beyond level 5 was like, why is there a potency past 5? I made it so that now, once you go past 5, it just starts drawing in numerals instead of Roman numerals. And then once it goes past 99, I'll just like, I swap it out for a smiley face. Because how in the world did you get here? If somebody manages to pull that off during testing, to find a setup to get a status effect level. Actually, I guess if I give players the opportunity to put charge on themselves, then someone will find a way to, like, you know, get into a fight with a level 1 pig or something that could only hit frontline and you just defend, and they'll just charge for 10 minutes to get a level 100 charge and then deal triple damage to a pig. So I figure there has to be an achievement in the game for deal over 100 damage in one instance of damage. Not in one attack, but like a single bright gold star with the number with 3 digits in it. That has to be. You know what? I need to start keeping a list of gameplay achievements. All right, achievements. In 1 gold star. Boom. There. Easy. Like, that's the obvious one. A bunch of stuff is going to be completion based. What would this be called? Theory crafting? Or battle science? I don't know. Battle science achievements. Completion achievements will be like, you know, fill out the scan database. Complete the music collection. Whatever, yada yada yada. And then of course we have progress achievements. I don't even know if I want to have those. That's a great one. People love that. Actually, that's not bad. Do one that is actually like slowly counting up. Just to feel like you're making progress towards something. Deal 1,000 total damage. Actually, that's probably not that much. Progress achievements are sometimes silly, but they're a really nice way to track player completion percentage. And I'm talking about the achievements that are like, finish chapter 1, finish chapter 2, finish chapter 3. It's like, if plopped in at the wrong time, it can feel like, oh gosh, another, oh yeah, there's my achievement for it. But I mean, if you give it like a little nudge name or something, you remember the achievement in Portal 2, you know? That was a good one. That was a good one. And that was just for like starting the chapter, you get an achievement. Part where he kills you. That part. So yeah, probably chapter completions, including any I guess that's going to be 8 chapter completion achievements right there. I don't know why we're suddenly talking about achievements. We're a little ways off from that system. It'll need to happen eventually. I'm gonna have to get. That's true, yeah. That'll be fun. It's a good way to add in a little bit of extra humor into the game. You know, I gotta be careful about... Oh, see, because the name or the description of an achievement could be a spoiler if I'm not careful. Because if I make it like... the chapter 1 completion achievement is called like slow and steady, then the description, defeat the Snail King, and then it's like, oh well, now I know there's a Snail King. Great. So it has to be just like complete chapter 1, complete chapter 2 for the descriptions. That's a good point. I didn't think about that, but you can do that. I was just realizing it's going to be a little bit, not unreasonably so, but maybe more painful than it should be to get Steam integration onto the Godot code. It's not like an add-on I can just plop in. I have to actually use an alternate build of Godot that embeds those Steam API calls into it, which is annoying, but it's fine. I'm pretty sure that's what Chip uses, is Godot Steam, I think is the name of it. get Twitch integration. Actually, Twitch integration you can do with an add-on. That's what we did for that little Castle AFK game. That one's just an add-on that you can just download and tack onto your project. All moon pieces for Chef Bird. The function of Twitch integration. Okay. I'm gonna give you a little bit of secret peek behind the curtain backstory for the genesis of the project. So I've of course been a fan of Thousand Year Door for a long time. My original plan of what I wanted to build, and this was back before I even had the C# version of the bot. This was back when the bot was just JavaScript running in the console of the Twitch dashboard. I wanted to include an overlay, I guess kind of like those Twitch avatar overlays, but it would be a straight ripoff of Thousand Year Door's audience members. And eventually that kind of became a little segment of the intro animation of having little audience members for people that redeemed that and got into the audience for that scene in the intro animation. But like, what I wanted was I want to emulate the Thousand Year Door thing of like the little like 100 of something, where everyone opt in, gets a little avatar. So after they start chatting, they appear down in the bottom of the screen, and it's like with TTYD sprites and like with little bend and twist animations and throwing things and audience interaction. And like redeems that makes like the audience like do the wave or something like that. Yeah, that dumb stuff like that. But anyway, yeah. So Twitch integration, have a full TTYD style crowd. Kickstarter backers, yeah. Feels like very little work. Yeah. Just throw that in. I was okay. There is going to be a nod to Thousand Year Door, because of course there has to be. I mean, there's a few nods, and there's a few jeers at Thousand Year Door. But one in chapter 5, there is going to be, I think, a scene, a battle where you are in front of a crowd, and I want to sort of, heavy wink and nudge to the audience, like, see, it's like the other game. You see, there's a closest horizontal door. All right, so we got some ideas for achievements, milestones of do this many times. That won't be too bad, I don't think. I guess the trick there is figuring out how to balance that, which that will come across in testing. Because you don't want people to have to grind for them, but they should still feel like achievements. This is the kind of stuff I'm interested in, is, can you figure out a way to break this system and deal 100 damage in one mighty blow? And then a lot of completion stuff is just going to kind of happen towards the end of the game, naturally. How would we feel about a do everything? I've never really been a fan of the do everything achievements, which basically come down to get all achievements, the achievement. I kind of understand them if they like unlock another thing, but yeah, that's a weird one. That's a weird one. Probably win a battle with 1 HP remaining. The 8-month-old door. It's very new. Oh, that reminds me. I need to have a... I just remembered it's something I need for the Chapter 3 dialogue script. I need to do some... I need to start doing some callback jokes. So that, you know, like, after you've been playing for a while, and then I start, like, repeating jokes with slight modifications. To show character growth. The regular window. Oh yeah, secret bosses. There will have to be secret bosses because I've already decided on some places to squeeze them in. I want to have full-on secret dungeons, like maybe not as big as the full-length dungeons, but it's gonna be kind of these little mini dungeons that have a little mini boss that give you. I want a reasonably useful reward module. Like, items are one thing, but items are one-time use, but a module is forever. And so I think that is a more viable reward. Something that is actually useful. So if you are kind of a not as good player, but you manage to pull off a victory, you get something that's going to really help you. If you're already a good player, you probably didn't need the help, but you're going to get to fill out your collection. He's in the game files. Get him out of there. In the computer. What if? What if? But what if? Does this even work? Oh, it kind of does. But it wouldn't work for 5 enemies. Hmm. One more. Oh, well, that just doesn't work, does it? It just spills off the side. For old reliable. There we go. Now we're talking. Just dancing. Just dancing. He's based on the coaster. Just let him dance for a bit. He's fine. Oh my gosh, he's flossing. Yeah, probably. Just gonna leave that right over here. Just leave that on the side of the screen while we're working on this. There we go. Perfect. Some secret boss achievements. Yep. They're coming! They're coming! Let's see, hang on. There we go. The crowd goes wild. It's the best. He loves it. You heard him. You heard him. He loves it. Healthy. Healthy. All right. To do. Hoggle with a helmet. Done. No cooldown. Yay! You gotta add the exclamation mark 2 character magic command because it's there's nothing bad that could happen. I can't think of any problems with it. All right, Dupu, did you genuinely forget to lock down the set bar? Did you only find out when I tried that command? It should really be the default state. You silently just... Well, that's good. That's good. that you can't delete it either. The variable's stuck in there forever now. Balloon. Balloon. Okay, balloon, huh? Alright, get these Dupus out of here. There's entirely too many Dupus on the field. Okay, I have a placeholder for Hoggle Balloon. Oh, well. Hi, GQ. Pay no attention. Pay no attention to the dogs behind the curtain. Everybody was streaming tonight. Everybody was streaming tonight. It's Wednesday. I'm not complaining. Needs one more Dupu. Unfortunately, now the engine supports more than 5 enemies, but my debug menu does not. My debug menu is limited to a mere 5. All right. Let's look at this. This. Okay.
Pecan.
Pecan. Pecan. Oh man. We can get into a lot of arguments about how to actually say that. You don't even have to have different countries involved. You don't even have to have different states involved. All right. I want a flying enemy. Split right down the middle, one might say. Made myself giggle. How about that, Casio? All right, what are we gonna do with a balloon version of this guy? Because right now there's no flying enemies. There's no flying enemies. 6 exits. Of the pecan variety. Six sounds right. All right. How are you gonna work? How can we make How can we make flying Hoggle interesting? We made Helmet Hoggle interesting by giving him a different move set. He has the same standard attack, but he buffs it heavily. And because he's helmeted, he is safe in the back line. Oh, like a revenge move. That's easier than what I had in mind. Which was a vulture somehow is flying and carrying him. But that would require some significant animation. So enemy count, we have 4. This will be number 5 once we figure it out. And then Cactite is 6. And then that's 6 is a great number of normal enemies. Welcome back, Casual. He charged immediately after his vulture breaks. I mean, the vulture would be a separate entity is the idea there. They act as one entity, but then once you hit the vulture, then they break apart into multiples somehow. I don't know. That's a weird one. That's a weird one. What else in a desert environment can make things fly gently? Nothing. Nothing. Only vultures. It's like the helmet, I was able to theme that appropriately to the area because they're going to be in the mines and then they got a little mining helmet. So that's great. That's super great. The balloon is nice because it has Dabble World's DNA in it. I could recolor the balloon. Some anti-gravity boots, of course. Hoggle on stilts instead of balloon. Hoggle balloon. He's got a balloon. Yeah, because we need flying enemies to reduce who can hit what a little bit. What is your deal, Hoggle? Reveal your secrets to me. I'm peering deep into him. We're almost done with basic enemies for Chapter 6. We've got a lot of mid-boss and boss enemies to do. Maybe just a lot of damage. Maybe that's all it takes. Let's see here. I don't want his attack to be exactly the same. It's okay if he just has an attack, but I want it to be different at least. Brilliant. Brilliant. That's it. That's it right there. Friday, we will do more enemies. Got to finish up 2 enemies, and then we can move on to mini bosses and bosses. I'm working on areas like actual room exploration, platforming, puzzle stuff off stream. So I like to keep a little bit more of that under wraps. After the enemies, I guess we still need to finish that last building in town and figure out exactly what that's going to look like and how you're going to get the key to the mines and all that. And then we need to build the mines entrance and actually make the dungeon. There's a lot to that still. Why don't we go ahead and see about a little bit of a raid. Boolean. He's come in every once in a while. There's Brent. Boolean might be a good shout. Hey. Just one for Dupu there. Let's see what's recommended. Recommended for me to watch. What does Twitch recommend? All sorts of weird stuff. I don't know what most of these games are. I have no idea what that is. This is a terrible thing to be looking at. Useless. Absolutely useless. One for the road. 2 for the show. That's not how it goes. That's not how it goes at all. Yeah, I think we'll do yeah, let's go over to Boolean. There we go. All right. I will be back on Friday. And we will work on more enemies. I'm glad we got the new status effect. I love having new status effect. Bye, Liari. Bye, everybody. I'll see you next time. It's going to be great. Have a good night. Bye. Bye.